Joining me now is former Housing and Urban Development Secretary and retired neurosurgeon Ben Carson. Dr. Carson, your thoughts on, well, the New York Times actually had a couple editorials come out over the weekend pushing back on Biden a little bit, but the LA Times says it's somehow a superpower. And if you watch MSNBC in the morning, Morning Joe, they took a different tack. They went right at Trump's mental acuity, which is kind of whataboutism. Sir, your thoughts?
Well, first of all, age is probably not necessarily the right thing to look at. In medicine, we talk about the physiological age and the chronological age. Chronological age being the number of years consecutively. Physiological age being the age that you act or appear to be. There are some people who are 40 years old who act and appear to be 80 years old. There are some people who are 80 years old who act like maybe a 50 or 60-year-old person. So we really need to look at the right thing, not necessarily just the age. But what's very concerning to me about this situation is the people who are propping up Joe Biden. They know that he is not mentally competent. They also know that we have a raging war going on in Ukraine. We have big trouble in the Middle East. We have China potentially eyeing Taiwan. We have a whole series of problems in this country as well. You need an inspirational and intelligent leader in a situation like that. When things are falling apart, that's not when you put a puppet in there and try to hide what's going on. If you really have any concern whatsoever about the country and about its future. And I fear that many of those people who are propping him up do not have any good feelings about our nation.
One of them being Dr. Joe Biden. You know, I know why the aides and the donor, all those people, they painted themselves in the corner. They waited too long for this. And now they kind of have to stick with the guy unless they do a brokered convention. But Joe Biden is one who probably should at some point have stepped up or could step up and say, look, it's time. Pull the plug on this deal.
Yeah, well, he's wanted to be president for decades. And so don't expect him to give it up easily, regardless of whether it's good for the country or not. He wants to be the president, and his wife wants to be the first lady. Mm-hmm. Some of the people around him have got to just look themselves in the mirror and say, what are we doing? What are we doing to the future of our country? What are we doing for our children and our grandchildren? That is much more important than political power. But we seem to have forgotten about that, and it could lead to our destruction. I'm hopeful that there will be some people who have some degree of moral integrity.
Do you think? I'm not sure. I just don't see. What are they waiting for? What are they? I mean, he went out on Thursday night and said, "Look, I'm all here," and then he confused Mexico with Egypt. I mean, it's scary that this man has the nuclear codes.
It is, and I've talked to some people in Europe, and they just tell me he's the laughing stock. There's no respect for him, but it's incredibly dangerous. And the question is, can we survive another 9 months? Or are other tremendous blunders going to be made that endanger not only the existence of this country, but the existence of the world? I don't think most people realize how serious this is. You don't take somebody who has mental issues, and it's not his fault. Unfortunately, these are things that happen to people. Yeah. But we have to be smart enough to recognize that it's happening and do something about it, not wait for the disaster. It's like watching a disaster unfold before your eyes in slow motion. You've got time to do something about this.
Yeah. Would you get in a car with him? Would you get in an airplane if he was flying? Would you get, would you have, open heart surgery with the guy this incapacitated? No. Why in the hell would you run the most powerful, important country on the planet with the same guy? It makes no sense. Dr. Carson, very quickly, have you talked to Trump about possible VP? Yes or no?
Yes or no. Yeah, you're right. Yes or no.
Well put, sir. Well put. Dr. Ben Carson, thank you so much for your time.